Brutus Monroe channel, and Nicole's here with this quick and easy Easter card. Let's go over some of the products I use. Our new stick and stamp mat. I'm going to bring in this tray here with the rest of our items. I'm going to use the Chroma mist in Bumblebee yellow, our embossing powder in Gilded. This is beautiful gold. Our embossing powder in Raven, which is this wonderful black. Our embossing ink, and our stamp of the month, which is Chick Chick Hooray. This has several images on it. It has a little chick standing up, a little chick in a little egg, bunny ears, and some hearts. And the sentiment, Chick Chick Hooray. I'm going to bring in some of our new sequins that comes in the inspiration box. 2 pieces of white cardstock. These are just scrap cardstock here. And I have a 110-pound card base. I'm going to use it top folding here, but landscape style. Some glitter cardstock in a purple. And some pattern paper here in, it's like a pale lavender, and I went ahead and die cut this ahead of time to save us some time. Alright, so let's clear everything off that we're not going to use right away so we can get started with our card. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use our Chroma mist. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my splat box and I'm going to spray our Chroma mist. Give it a quick shake to get everything going and just spray our card. When I said this was going to be quick, I meant it. There's no coloring. So we're going to go ahead and heat set this so that we can continue with our project. I'm going to go ahead and start embossing our image. First, we're going to do the little chick that's standing up. I'm going to stamp it here on the bottom, and then I pick it up, and as you can see, the cardstock is stuck to my stick and stamp mat, so I can work with it. And I didn't like that and get a good impression, so I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And now I'm going to go ahead and bring in just a piece of copy paper. Just regular copy paper, and then I'm going to have my Raven embossing powder. I'm going to put some on there, shake off the excess, and I will heat set this. So I'm going to heat set our 2 little chickies here, and I like to heat from front and back, and it goes from a dull to a nice shiny finish once it's heat set. So those two, so that I have those chickies done, I'm only going to use one of those because one came out better than the other one. So now I'm going to grab my other little chickie, the one that's in the egg, and I'm going to stamp that one onto our yellow cardstock that we just created using our Chroma mist in Bumblebee yellow. I'm going to stamp that. Again, go ahead and add our Raven embossing ink, shake off our excess, put my embossing powder back in because, as you can see, I just made a little bit of a mess there. I'm not sure why I closed this here because I'm going to need it one more time, but it's okay. So I'm going to grab my other piece of white cardstock that I have, and I'm going to stamp our little chickie one more time onto this white cardstock, the one that's in the egg, and then I'm going to go ahead and once again add some Raven embossing powder onto it. And then I'll heat set our little chicks here. Go ahead and dump back my embossing powder before I make a huge mess. And set my card, set that to the side here. So now we're done with our our Raven embossing powder. We're going to go ahead and do our sentiment while we're at it. And I'm just going to do it on the other side of this white cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and put, because this is our sentiment, I want to go ahead and put some anti-static powder here. And I just keep my anti-static powder in this little tin. And I use this little kabuki brush just to get it on to my cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my sentiment with our embossing powder, our embossing ink, so that I can use the Gilded embossing powder. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that down, get a nice crisp impression, add our Gilded embossing powder on here, shake off the excess, and then I'll heat set the chicks and our sentiment. And quickly close our embossing powder so not to spill it. And I like to heat from the back and the front just to keep our warping to a minimum, and it also heats everything nice and even. Again, it'll go from a dull finish to a nice glossy finish. That's when you know it's completely heat set. So there we have our little white chick, and really we just need the egg portion of that, but I wanted it to match with a nice embossing detail. Alright, so all our chicks are embossed, and our egg, and our sentiment. So now I'm going to quickly clear a couple of these things out of our way, grab my scissors, and we're just going to fussy cut this. I do not have any coordinating dies for this. Actually, I'm going to be honest, I'm not even 100% sure there is coordinating dies for the stamp of the month, but I just fussy cut them. They're simple images to cut. So for the bottom here, I'm sorry, I'm a bit off screen. I'm just cutting just the egg portion. As you can see, I lobbed off the big portion of the chick here. And I just want the little egg, just a white little egg. And I'm just going to go ahead, once I trim that and I trim the other chick that's in the egg, I will be layering that on top. And I kept this card fairly simple. Sometimes you just want a quick and simple card. You don't want all the bells and whistles. And I figured with glitter in the background and the shimmer cardstock I use for the grass, there was enough bells and whistles on here. Alright, so I'm going to bring in this die for our grass in the shimmer cardstock. It's a green shimmer cardstock, and a simple rectangle stitch die for our embossed sentiment. I'm going to run this through my mini die cutting machine really quickly so that we can have all the components for our card ready to go. Get this completely out of the way. And then we're going to go ahead and start adhering all of our card components together. I'm going to bring in my sticky mat here, and I'm going to use it to hold my glitter cardstock down for a moment so I can build on here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere our die cut onto our base here, our card front panel. And this pattern paper has little small details, like little floral details. It looks really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead, I went ahead and adhered my grass to the pattern paper. And the pattern paper is from Carta, and it's from the Flora collection. Alright, so now once I've added our grass, I'm going to go ahead and layer up our egg onto our little chick here. And I'm going to tuck this little chick using some liquid adhesive behind our little grass here. Just kind of fluffing up the little grass blades, tucking it in. I'm going to put the other little chick right here. I'm going to put a tiny bit of foam adhesive on this little chick, just for a little dimension. And I'll also put some foam adhesive on the back of our sentiment. This card came together pretty quickly, as you can see. I just kept it really simple. Sometimes that's all you need, is a quick, simple little card, just to get them all out to those friends and family. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing from the adhesive here, using my stick mat to line it up. And now I'm going to remove my card panel from my stick mat. And all you do is you curl your mat away from the card panel and it'll come off. Now, I'm going to be honest, I should have given my glue a little more time to catch everything here, because it completely came apart just a bit there. So I'm going to add a little more glue. I am working on glitter cardstock, and that usually takes a little bit more time to dry. But the stick mat works beautifully for stamping and getting everything together. I went ahead and put the cover sheet, the protective cover sheet, back on my stick mat so I can just go ahead and just keep working. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere my front panel to my card base. trying to get it on here as straight as possible. Doing a little fussing here. There, finally got it on straight, going on the inside to just press it down. So now we're going to go ahead and bring in our sequins, and we're going to go ahead and adhere those using a little bit of liquid adhesive. I'm going to add one the small ones next to our sentiment, 2 towards the top, and 3 in a nice little cluster towards the bottom right. And these sequins come in your inspiration box. They're wonderful 3 sizes. One's a more rich metallic, one is a clear opalescent, and then one is in shades of purple, and the small one is like in a pale shade of yellow. It's very pretty. So here's a quick close-up of our card. You can see all that shimmer from the glitter, from the sequins, and from the shimmer cardstock that we use for the grass. That gives it enough bells and whistles, keeping it quite simple. And of course, with our gilded embossing powder to add that nice shine to our sentiment. We used our Chroma mist in Bumblebee yellow for easy coloring, and our Raven embossing powder, our sequins, and of course our stamp of the month, which is Chick Chick Hooray. Like always, I'll have everything in the description box below. Thank you. I hope you found some inspiration.